From the beautiful campus of Casper College, it's the T-Birds Coaches Show, bringing you game breakdowns, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews. Here's your host, Tom Myler.
Hello, T-Bird fans, and welcome to, another fantastic Casper College Coach Show. Once again, Coach, do I get it?
Always pleasure.
I would agree. It's just so much fun. We have a lot of fun. We laugh.
Yes.
Normally we talk about basketball, but, it doesn't have to be to have a good time with you, Coach.
Believe it or not, there's life beyond basketball. I'm going to realize that real soon, actually.
That's true. But something tells me we might see you in the gym a couple
Absolutely.
times.
Once or twice for sure.
You can always come back here and be a surprise guest.
You bet.
You never know. I know you still like me.
We'd love it. I like every part about Casper College. So, yes, I will be around.
I love it. So, let's get right into it since, basketball is a thing we're here for.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. So first game, you had 2 games last week. Your first game against Northwest, win by 20. Pretty good. I'd say, I enjoyed the game. It's fun.
Real big game, real big win for us. I think Northwest is a good team, and they give teams challenges because of their matchup zone, and then, of course, offensively, they got quite a few scorers as well. But really was pleased with that win because that kind of put us in a real good spot to secure the number 1 seed, and I saw Northwest as a super challenge to do that. So just to get a win out of that would have been nice, but to win by 20 was just a pleasant surprise.
Well, even your offense performed well. Obviously you held them to, I think it was the 68 points maybe it might have been. 48
or 49, yes.
48 was it, because it was 68-48. So you hold them to only 48, so your defense was clicking, your offense is clicking, and that's got to feel good.
It was, and really proud of the defensive effort for sure, because our team has been preparing super well on the defensive end, and working on their core fundamentals, and they're starting to see that carry over into the games. And again, Northwest, very, very talented. They have a lot of good scoring guards, and then they have interior play with Harris and Nicholson. So I was really happy. I was really pleased to hold them to 48.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go back to what we talk about every time. Within this game, the real big difference maker, just completely out-rebounded them.
Yeah.
You dominated the boards. It was just, I think that was it.
It is so important, and it's great you realize that, because people don't understand. You look at shooting percentages, and they only shot 38%. Well, if they're shooting 20 more shots than you are at that 38%, they're going to score more. So, limiting the number of opportunities they get to score is critical, and for the most part, we've done a really nice job on that.
Right. I think even just looking at stat, I think this game, Autumn had 13 rebounds. She's scrappy. That's the best way to just really hard worker and hustles.
In every phase, not just rebounding, but defensively, offensively, running the floor, transition offense, transition defense. She has one speed, and it doesn't shut down until we're in the locker room. So love coaching her. She's the same way in practice too. So yeah, she is. I think she's our leading rebound by a significant amount, and it's just because of her effort. She pursues every ball.
Absolutely. It was just. Overall, I think great team effort for this game. Northwest, they're, like we have already mentioned, they're not a bad team.
Not a bit, no.
Everything seemed to be clicking for us. So, when our team is clicking, it's definitely hard to beat.
It is. When we're doing well offensively and defensively together, we are a very, very good team. And if one of those phases is off, we just got to hope the other one's at an A+ that night. But yes, when both of those are at a high level, we're a pretty solid team.
Yeah, absolutely. So get the win against Northwest. We got homecoming on Saturday.
Yes.
You play Central.
Yeah.
That one was also a really fun one, just because that was another just dominant performance all around. Your great shooting percentage. It was fun. Let's talk about it. You go in after the first quarter up 20-0.
Yes, and that's kind of what set the tone. It was defense again. Them not scoring, I think we did a great job of handling their sets and their actions, and our defense really transpired into a lot of quick, easy offensive possessions and transition points and stuff. So, again, I think the defense set the tone. Always like when our starters come out focused, because if you can get off to a good start against a team, especially if the team feels like they have to play at their best to get us, and we don't give them confidence and we get off to a good start, then that carries over in the whole game. And our starters in that game against Central got us off to a tremendous start.
Yeah, absolutely. I think looking at the final stat, you limited mistakes, turnovers. I think you had like 6, maybe 9 of them.
Yes, nice.
They had a few more than that, and so you're able to capitalize on those mistakes. They did have, I think it was Wilkinson, her last name. I mean, she was kind of a bully to you.
Yeah.
And she made all of her free throws, so she got fouled, drew the foul, scored a lot. I think she might have 13 on the day.
13 or 15 and
maybe 15.
Up there on rebounds as well. Yeah,
Right.
she is. And she's just a freshman. I thought she improved a great amount from the first time we played them in January. So, again, a good observation on picking her out because she had a very nice game inside.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a question then. So if she has some size, she's able to use kind of her body and get the position. Do we have any, because we have LCCC and Eastern, do they have any similar Wilkinson type players that we'll have to deal with?
Yes and yes, both teams.
Of course.
Eastern, I'm jumping ahead. Eastern not only has a good post player with Marino, they also have 2 good forwards. Vukovic, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Paredes. Both are guards and post up and are very good inside. So yes, they not just only have a good post player, but they have a good interior presence with their guards as well. And again, I apologize on names here if I'm getting it wrong. LCCC Pinedo she's a sophomore this year. She's come a long ways from her freshman year, and she was good as a freshman, started from as a freshman. Very good post presence, and she also can go out on the perimeter. And then Bazan is very good and physical and can score inside. So yes, that's a long-winded way of saying our post defense is going to be challenged again this weekend.
And how do you contain some of these players that they're going to post up, they're going to try and get position? How do you not foul them? How do you just kind of contain them?
I think the number one way is to not let the ball get in there. That's the easiest. Your job's easier if you're not guarding them one-on-one. And that's not just our posts that have to do that. Good ball pressure and high hands on the passer and stuff like that, making it difficult to get the ball inside would be helpful. So number one, you have to try to limit the times the posts get the touch. And then number two, you just have to make sure they only get one shot. And that's one of the areas that we still are challenged at a little bit is our interior blackout. So whether it's a post or somebody shooting a layup, we kind of watch the process and see what the outcome's going to be instead of continuing to play and black out, and then we give up that second chance. So I think with all of the interior play that we have coming up this weekend, it's going to be important to do both of those things, limit the touches and then make sure we black out when they do get a shot.
Absolutely. I mean, because I'm glad you brought it up because I'm going to bring it up too. Rebounding is always important, but against the Central game, I don't know how they managed.
Yeah.
But they somehow out-rebounded us. I mean, it could be just what we're talking about, how, had Wilkinson down low, she shot, we kind of watch it, and then she gets her own rebound and has another opportunity.
And that happens. And that happens a little bit in Adama's situation on a positive side, and I'll come back to that. But on a positive side, Adama will miss her first attempt and then pursues it until she gets it in there. So does a good job. So, and Wilkerson was doing similar things. So, she missed her first attempt, and then, like I was talking earlier, we didn't get a good blackout, and then she got another attempt. But I was surprised when I looked at that. It didn't feel. Usually, I can tell when we're getting out rebound from the bench, and it didn't feel like we were getting out rebounded. The number I'm always concerned about is how many offensive rebounds or what's your offensive rebound percentage, because that's what translates into extra shot attempts. Obviously, we want a lot of offensive rebounds and not let the opponent get defensive rebounds. But again, limiting the other opponent's offensive rebounds is the one part of rebounding I'm really concerned about.
Got it. So we look at the overall rebound numbers, but it's like, hey, if we're winning in the offensive rebound, that means that translates to more shots.
More possessions, more shots, exactly. And that's right where my eyes go on that stat. It's not total, it's how many offensive rebounds did they have? How many extra chances did they get to score?
All right, I'll make sure to remember that one next time we're talking. Is really focus on that offensive rebound number.
Yes, we need to win that category.
All right, well, final question for you about this last week. What was kind of your favorite moment from either game, both games?
First one Wednesday against Northwest. Again, I guess I alluded to how we came out and played against Central, but I was very, very pleased with the start we got off against Northwest because, again, I think they only have 4 wins in conference, but they are a very scary team, and I was really concerned about that one. And so just the win in general and how we got started was there. Saturday, again, the start, and actually I thought all 11 of our players got into the game and had significant minutes, 10, 12, 15 minutes, and everybody had a nice basketball game there. So I was really pleased with the complete effort there. And again, our atmosphere, it's fun. It's fun to play in T-Bird Gym or Sweet Erickson Gym because we have a great fan base.
Yeah, especially that Saturday game.
It's fun.
It was, I mean, you could tell it was homecoming. Fans came out and they were supporting. And I loved it.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, Coach. So I'm glad that fans, thank you.
Yes, much appreciated.
All right, so there was last week. Let's get into this week. We talked a little bit about just kind of some of the matchups and how we're going to probably see a lot of interior play. I mean, what else can we expect? Let's start with LCCC.
Both balanced. We are. It's not a mirror of each other, but 2 teams that are extremely similar in a lot of areas. I would say LCCC has at least 5 or 6 perimeter players or guards in general that I would consider a 3-point threat. And then you could say the same about Eastern.
Wow.
And we just talked about both of their interior play is good, and not just with the post players, but with guards and stuff like that. So I think they're very, very similar. Defensively, I think LCCC is probably going to play more zone than Eastern would, but we'll be prepared either direction, on that. But they're very comparable, the 2 teams, and both teams very well coached. They will push the ball up in transition, and again, they have a lot of ways to score from their guards and inside. So they're very similar.
Well, and here's the big thing here: they're coming off wins off of Gillette.
Yes,
and Gillette's
absolutely.
a tough team, so
very
we
much
can't
so.
just be like, oh yeah, we beat them before. They are coming and ready to compete.
100%. And the Eastern game in particular, we got off to such a great start, similar like we did against Central. I think we were up 27-3 or 29-3, and we were up 22 or 24 points. Well, Eastern outscored us by 8 or 9 in the second half, and so that's the part that we got to take a look at. Yes, we got off to a good start. I think we made our first 8 or 9 shots. That's not going to happen on Saturday. I would love it to happen, but it's not. We've got to understand, like you said, what we did last game, the outcome is not going to be affected at all on Saturday by what we did last time we played them.
Yep. So what's going to be then the key to winning LCCC Eastern games?
Here we go. Redundancy. Here we go. We got to rebound. We got to limit those second chance points and play well defensively. And, I've resigned to the fact our shooting is going to be our shooting as long as we take good shots and, we're not forcing things and we're trying to offensive rebound. Whatever we shoot that day, we shoot. But we can be good defensively every day, and we can be good on the boards every day. And I think both of those things are going to be the key to getting 2 wins.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd absolutely agree with you that your defense, the rebounding, that's kind of been your strong suit.
Yes.
Last week, you kind of had a peak, I would say, kind of a little bit more of your normal, like at the beginning where it was above 40, kind of right below it in that range. It's just like, I'd still take that, but it could always be better.
Yes.
But you still.
How much have you been coaching? It's never good enough. You've been coaching on the side, haven't you?
Kid's 4 now. He might be on a basketball team right now.
That's awesome.
You got to really worry about percentages there, right? A lot of travels.
Yes. Yeah. It's fun.
Thank goodness they don't call it that.
Yeah. And side or segue a little bit or getting off topic, you're right. The officials at that level do a great job of teaching the game. They got to learn you can't do this, but not just make it a whistle fest where they don't get any activity. So kudos to those individuals.
Yeah. Got to love the YMCA.
Yes.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, very much so.
All right, Coach. So we had a great last week. We're going to have some great couple of games. Once again, we're home.
Yes,
which is wonderful to have. We know they're tough, so just any sort of advantage we can get, we got to love. So fans, looking to you again. You showed up Wednesday and Saturday. Show up Friday and Saturday. It's going to be an awesome game.
We would love to see as many people in the stands as possible. It does lift our kids. They make an impact. And so hopefully, fans, we can see a lot of you on Friday and Saturday.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach.
You bet.
To your fans, we hope to see you next time.